you endorse any of the candidates in the second round?
İkinci turda Erdoğan'ın
We have not yet reached a decision on whether to support Erdogan or Kılıçdaroğlu. We will determine who to support after consultations and deliberation. In 1 or 2 days, once these negotiations are completed, the Erdogan or Kılıçdaroğlu question will arise. But there is another possibility, and that is to support no one.
o da hiçbirisi.
Seçim sonuçları
How would you describe the electoral process and its results?
Kendi oylarım açısından
If I am to evaluate the elections from my point of view, I was expecting to win 10% of the total vote. Actually, our appeal to voters in the field was gauged at around 10%, but we saw that 1 or 2% of our vote was stolen in the field and another amount of our vote was distanced from us by using duplicity. Despite this, 5% is a success. We achieved this after a 1-month effort and limited resources, and we got votes from all areas across Turkey. We received a very balanced vote. From our perspective, and looking towards the future, this is very important. Regarding the other candidates, I observed that the opposition was a disappointment. But I saw this before and warned the opposition about this. I told them that they are living in a dream world and that they should pay attention to the field. And this was a success for Erdogan.
Peki siz her zaman bölücüler
You asked people not to vote for candidates who support the separatists. Who among the candidates supports them?
Bizim
We always have a phrase, neither the Kandil Mountains or the Hogtie, and this means we do not support the People's Democratic Party or HUDA-PAR party. We will not stand in a space where the HUDA-PAR party are. Right now, one of the preconditions for our support is that these parties must distance themselves from the People's Democratic Party or HUDA-PAR party. The AK party and the CHP, Kemal Kılıçdaroğlu and Mr. Erdogan must distance themselves. If they distance themselves, then we can sit down and negotiate. At the moment, I cannot say that we are close to this side or that side, or that they are close to or far from terrorists. Our precondition is the struggle against terrorist groups without any exceptions.
Peki
Do you think there was foreign interference in the elections, from the West to support the opposition and from Russia to support Erdogan?
desteklediğiyle ilgili bir yargı var. Katılır mısınız? Ne dersiniz?
bu yargı
This judgment is a correct judgment. I've seen that there have been an intervention in the field, but I cannot measure how much this has impacted the final result. This is something that will be revealed after some time. It is too early to talk about this because the situation will be uncovered after a long and tiring effort.
uzun ve yorucu uğraşlar sonucu ortaya çıkacak bir durum.
Yurt dışından
It is difficult for viewers outside of Turkey to understand how, despite the bad and deteriorating economic situation in the country, President Erdogan succeeded in the parliamentary elections and was a few votes away from winning the presidency in the first round. Could you explain?
yani bu bir çelişki gibi duruyor. Hem ekonomik kriz var hem de
Çelişki değil.
The people find the opposition inadequate. The people don't trust the opposition. The opposition didn't prepare the correct parliamentary lists. The whole issue isn't the success of the ruling party or Erdogan. It's about the opposition being weak and unsuccessful.
Güçsüz ve başarısız olması.
Peki
Regarding foreign policy, in your opinion, what will be the position of the new president regarding regional issues such as Syria and the relationship with Israel, and international affairs such as the war in Ukraine?
iki pozisyonu.
Ben mevcut
If the current government continues, and if we are part of it, the Erdogan government, on the topic of Ukraine, a balanced policy towards Russia will be observed. But if it's Kılıçdaroğlu, I can say that policies will be weighed more towards Ukraine. Relations with Israel generally seem to be back on track. From the very beginning, I have been a person that supports a foreign policy of decreasing enemies and increasing friends. It is not possible to understand why we had bad relations with Israel for such a long time, because we have shared interests with Israel. These shared interests benefit both Israel and Turkey. I think that instead of fighting, we should solve our problems with Israel through negotiations and meeting at the point of these shared interests. This is the advice that we give to the current government.
da buluşmak.
On Libya and Syria, as long as Erdogan is around, the current policies will continue. If Kılıçdaroğlu is elected, there may be some changes in these policies. For example, we may see a quick normalization with Syria if Kılıçdaroğlu arrives. In Libya, there are state policies at work, rather than preferences of individuals or presidential candidates. The Libya policy will continue.
Kılıçdaroğlu geri